Hello once again, this is Orion Syndicate 910. Thanks for watching. About a month ago, I passed my 100 subscriber mark, and I posted a Q&A video, opening the door for questions. I got involved in some side projects here on YouTube and in real life, and I never got back to answering those questions, so I'm going to do that now, since I have recently passed the 200 subscriber mark. Anyway, the first question that was asked was from Lolxor. His question, what is your view on gaming? Now, Lolxor, I'm assuming that you mean Indian casino gaming. When the various tribes open casinos on the reservations in the hopes of raising the income level of the reservation in general and supporting programs in their territory. Indian casinos are not a guaranteed way for any tribe to make money. Depending on the location of the casino, how far away it is from major cities and airports, the reservation could either make or lose money from opening the casino. Now, some casinos on certain reservations do very well. Some do, in the middle there somewhere. And others don't do very well at all. Case in point, the reservations at Pine Ridge, their casino, if you take the monthly income from that casino and distribute the profits evenly to every member of the tribe, every tribal member on the Oglala Lakota reservation at Pine Ridge would get 15 cents a month. That's not a lot of money. I mean, it's enough to keep the place open and pay the employees. It gives some people jobs, but overall it doesn't really benefit the reservation. So it's a case-by-case basis. Some tribes don't think it's worth the trouble, and some have reaped enormous benefits from a casino. So there's really no, it's all good, it's all bad kind of thing. It really depends on the situation. Serena JK, do you think the independent and green parties will ever have a chance at running our country? Answer, no, I don't. To be completely blunt with you, the United States, almost from the beginning, was a two-party system. With the Federalists, the Anti-Federalists, the Federalists, the Democrats, the Whigs, and then the Democrats and Republicans. It has always been a two-party system. Even though political parties are not part of our Constitution, they're not officially part of our government, that's the way things have always been. There has never really been a serious third party that posed a serious challenge to the Democrats and Republicans. Now, some third parties do get into office on the local level, city councils, sometimes even state legislators, but in Congress, I think the last third party to get someone elected, not counting the nonpartisans, was actually the Socialist Party. In the early part of the 1900s, the Socialist Party got some people elected, and the U.S. Congress refused to seat them. So then those locations, the districts those people were elected from, were forced to have new elections, and the socialists were again sent back to Congress. And then, it just became really, really nasty. I think it was probably the Red Scare, which of course devastated the socialists and the communist parties and the industrial workers of the world, labor union. But any third party that gets someone into Congress is going to have a hell of a hard time breaking through the two-party system. So as far as running the country, no. The local level stands a better chance. City council, you have people who are libertarian, even members of the Communist Party USA getting elected. They do better on the small-scale elections. Running someone for Congress or the presidency, if you're a third party, is a complete waste of time, energy, and money. But they could make a serious difference on the local level. Nationally, I don't think so. Champagne Blonde, could you explain what the aim of Anonymous is? Well, Anonymous doesn't have a, quote, goal as a group. Some people will say they want the entire Church of Scientology brought down. Others say they'll be willing to settle for the leadership, in this case David Miscavige, being removed from his position and replaced with someone who's not going to, lead the organization with such things as fair gaming and harassment of opponents, and other things like that the Church of Scientology has been linked to, such as Operation Snow White and Operation Freakout, things which are part of the history, the documented history of the Church of Scientology. But Anonymous serves, as I see it, as the top watchdog organization over the Church of Scientology. Any news that the church would rather you not know about, Anonymous will bring up into the public eye. So their aim is to keep an eye on the church. And there is some movement in the direction of trying to get the Church of Scientology's tax-exempt status revoked, which is one of the big goals. As far as its aim, it's just basically to keep membership organized and motivated and keeping an eye on the Church of Scientology, and it's an ongoing battle. Don't think that because things have gone quiet and you don't see thousands of people out there marching in the streets anymore, like you did 2 years ago, that this has settled into some sort of Cold War conflict. It is ongoing. In fact, if you go into Why We Protest forums, you'll see how the Church of Scientology is reacting, ongoing reaction to Anonymous's work. But it's it's entertaining and it's frustrating, and there are times when the moments of win just wash over you. But also, marking my 200 subscriber video here, I'd also like to chime in with my opinion on Voctor 2100's latest video, where he stated, why are we supporting people like Kassiedill, who herself was part of a group of people who did everything they could to suppress the free speech of others. And I have long held that opinion myself. And I'm going to state publicly, and I know that a lot of free speech purists will probably come down on me for this, but I have to say that whenever I get a video in my subscriber box saying support Crazy 316, support Kassiedill or whoever, and I know this person has a history of themselves attempting to suppress the free speech of other people and encouraging other people to help them do so, when that person finds themselves in the crosshairs of a retaliatory flagging campaign, I'm not sympathetic. I give them no help. I send no emails to YouTube asking for their account to be restored, because I think it's a waste of my time. And while you feel that you're standing up for free speech rights, you're doing it for someone who really doesn't appreciate it. I mean, they would appreciate it from the fact that they get their channel back. But as soon as they get their channel back, the first thing they're going to do is try to suppress the free speech of other people. So you're just keeping someone around who's only going to be a negative onto YouTube and the YouTube community. I mean, I would never engage in a false flagging or false DMCA campaign myself. But I tell you this, when these people who've done these things find themselves on the receiving end of it, I feel a certain sense of satisfaction. I feel that they get what they deserve. And while they're screaming and crying for their free speech rights, as soon as they get them back, one of the first things they do is try to suppress the free speech of other people. So as far as helping Kassiedill, supporting Kassiedill, subscribing to her channel, no, I won't. I won't be bothered with it, and I'm not going to participate in it. If you feel that it's the right thing for you to do, be my guest. Anyway, I got a few other questions in my comment section. Answered, no, I'm not married. Where do you live? No, I'm not going to answer that question. I live in the United States. That's enough. That's all you need to know. And anyway, I have found an interesting channel here on YouTube. A guy has a really great delivery. And if you find the YouTube channel of Onision as irritating as I find the channel of Onision, perhaps his biggest critic on YouTube is the channel Some Guy 827. I'm going to include a link to his channel in the sidebar. I actually like this guy. I think that Some Guy 827 has a great delivery, has a great voice, and if he ever moves beyond the Onision issue, I think that he would be one of the better channels on YouTube. So you can go and have a look at his channel, subscribe if you like. Anyway, this is Orion Syndicate 910, marking my 200 subscriber mark as of a couple of days ago. This is Orion Syndicate 910. Thanks for watching.